series of the famous Rabbanim of yesteryear. And over here, friends, today we have the Hilula on Yud Bet Elul, the 20th of Elul, of a great rabbi, Harav Shalom Moshe Gagin, Zeche Tzadik Libracha. He was actually born in the English year 1832 in the month of Tevet and passed away in the English year 1883. He was approximately 51 years of age at the time of passing. Will become a great shluchei d'Rabbanan of Jerusalem in of itself. He would write various different poems, piyutim as we call it, and great Torah colossal works. And he would become the Rosh Yeshiva of the famous Yeshivat Mekubalim, Yeshivat Bet El, a great place that we've spoken about on several occasions before in this Magnum series. So friends, he was born in the year 1832 in Jerusalem, and he was the only son of another great rabbi who was spoken about before, Rabbi Chaim Avraham Gagin. He himself, Rabbi Chacham Avraham, was also another one of the great rabbis that we mentioned about in this series himself, who was a great Kabbalist. He also was a Rosh Yeshiva of the Yeshivat Bet El Yeshiva in Jerusalem, and was a Chacham Bashi, a Rishon Litzion of the land of Israel also. So he came from really, really great Torah heritage also. And Mishpachat Gagin in of itself, the family itself, were really, really great people, which we'll touch on the end. His mother's name was Rabbanit Rivka. She happens to be the daughter of Rabbi Raphael Sharabi, who was really, really great Rabbi Raphael Sharabi from the incredible Sharabi dynasty of families of great Rabbanim. It's actually interesting. He actually learned Torah under the auspices of his father also, and also learned under other great Rabbanim, including Rabbi Yedidia Raphael Abu Lafia, who was also happened to be a great rabbi. He happened to be a great Kabbalist also, and was also the Rosh Yeshivat of Yeshivat Bet El. So among the three people we've spoken about already in this video, all of them were Rosh Yeshivat of the Yeshivat Bet El. Also, he learned about amongst many other great Rabbanim in the famous yeshiva in of itself. He would get married to a very righteous Tzaddiket woman, Rabbanit Sarah Esther. I think her name was also known as Bolisa Estaraji, and she happened to be the daughter of another great rabbi, Chaim Nisim Abu Lafia. Rabbi, once again, another great Abu Lafia. He himself, I think, had the nickname, the Tana, if I'm not mistaken, or the Chana, to be mistaken. He was a rabbi of Tiberias and a Rishon Litzion in Jerusalem also. So he was one of the great rabbis, Tiberias naturally being one of the four holy cities of Israel also. And I believe in the year 1862, he must have been at that stage around 30 years of age. He actually was sent as a shluchei d'Rabbanan, a rabbinic emissary, as they call that, in behalf of the Yeshivat Bet El in of itself, and he went to various different cities and different countries, including all parts of northern Africa. Also, I'd assume probably to Morocco and those places. So he also went to France over there. He went to collect money and really strengthen those communities in Torah. He mitchazek the people, give sermons over, while at the same time helping the yeshiva with its standing in Chutz La'aretz and financially also. Then I believe he would come back to Israel after 3 years, it was reported he was there. Then in the 1872, at that stage, he must have been about 39 years of age, he went again for another shlichut, another traveling, and he went to Italy this time. Italy still had a great Jewish community over there. And after, when he came back, returned from his shlichut over there, he was appointed the shliach tzibur of the Yeshivat HaMekobalim Bet El, very, very prominent position, and would then become the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Bet El, filling the of his incredible great father also after his father had passed away. After he passed away, I believe, his father, he inherited a great library, a Sifriya, as they say in Ivrit, of great books, reported over 2,000 Sefrim of Torah books, and also manuscripts, from old manuscripts of great Rabbanim also. And I think he actually helped, he showed it very much to another rabbi, Rabbi Aryeh Leib Fromkin, if I'm not mistaken, also, who used these books also to compile a sefer called the Toldot Chachmei Yerushalayim. So it really came to Sifriya in huge use afterwards. And he passed away on the 14th of September in the year 1883. We're talking about 139 years ago, from approximately 141 years ago from the time of recording. He was buried in Jerusalem. It's actually interesting. His older son, Harav Avram Chai Gagin Hasheni, was also another great rabbi. He also left other great descendants, including Harav Yitzchak Raphael Yechezkiyahu Gagin also. And notably, his grandson was Rabbi Shem Tov Gagin, also another great rabbi we have spoken about on various different occasions before. So he wrote some really great Torah books also. Let's explore some of the great books he authored, including the Sameach Nefesh also. I think it was Otsar Mishpati Dinim Bikiyuim HaMitzvah V'Nuschei Tfilat, concentrating on the pronunciation of tefillot and various different things within regards to mitzvot also. I believe that was actually printed through his son Rabbi Yitzchak in Yerushalayim in the Hebrew year. Hey Taf Reish Samach Gimel. Then another great book was Yismach Lev. This was including the She'elot, Shuvot, questions and answers of the great rabbis of his generation in of itself. I think the first chelek, the first volume, was printed in Jerusalem in the year Hey Taf Reish Lamed Chek, and the second chelek also again in Jerusalem was printed many years, I think around 10 years later, in Hey Taf Reish Memchet. Then another great colossal Torah work of his was the Sameach Lev. This also, once again, Sameach Libi. This was also another great book, I think, which was based on various different drushim. This was printed in the Hebrew year Hey Taf Reish Mem Dalet. Then Yismach Moshe, which was Paskei Dinim, rendering the various different halachic decisions. Al Sabat Sar Kaid Nisim Shemama. I think that was printed in Jerusalem in the year Hey Taf Reish Lamed Chet. Then another great Torah work of his was Saviv HaOhel. This was a Perush on the Sefer, the great book of the Ohel Moed of Rabbi Shmuel Mejirondi. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. This was actually based on two different chalakim, as I say, two different volumes also. Then another great work was a Shir Tehilot. I believe this was a book honoring Moses Montefiore, as we say, Moshe Montefiore, the famous philanthropist who we've spoken about on various different videos also. This was printed in Jerusalem in the year Hey Taf Reish Lamed. I believe he also authored various different kinot also, lamentations also, various different piyutim, the poems, songs, and also pizmonim, songs I believe we sing on the Shabbat table or on the whenever there's a mitzvah, sudat mitzvah or something like that. I believe that those books in itself was also printed throughout also. So it's actually interesting. We said he actually descended from a rabbi, Shalom Mizrahi Rabbi, also who happened to be one of the great rabbis also, including also he himself was, I believe, was a great Kabbalist of the land of Israel. I think he came from Teman originally. Also, once again, he himself was a great rabbi, Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Bet El. Other greater ancestors of his, let's say, was Rabbi Chezkiyahu Yitzchak Sharabi, also Rabbi Raphael Avram Shalom Mizrahi Sharabi, also he himself happened to be another great rabbi, also part of the Rosh Yeshivat, or the famous Yeshivat, Beit Mekubbalim of Yeshivat Bet El also. It's actually interesting, he himself, we mentioned that he had various different descendants. His grandson we mentioned was Rabbi Shem Tov Gagin, and he also had, I believe, a descendant also Rabbi Morris Gagin, and I think Rabbi Shem Tov Gagin was very involved in England. He actually lived in England over there, and was part of the Sephardi Bet Din over there also, and was a great rabbi also in Manchester and the Ab Bet Din in London in of itself. So many of his generations, they all ended up great rabbanim also, and it's his Hilula over here on Yud Bet Elul. He passed away early. He was around 51 years of age. He was buried in Har Zeitim, the Mount of Olives burial plot, also there. Great rabbi, as we stated before, just summarize, he was a great rabbi in Jerusalem. He spent a lot of time in Italy. He spent time in France, strengthening the community as a Shadar. He was also in northern African countries, also, and one of the great rabbis of the famous Yeshivat Bet El also. Now the famous Yeshivat Bet El, we covered exclusive video in of itself, because I believe the first Rosh Yeshiva there was around the year 1737, if I'm not mistaken. There was Rabbi Gedalia Chayon, we mentioned about before. Then it was Rabbi Shalom Sharabi. It could be he was a great grandfather of his. And by the time Rabbi Gagin was Rosh Yeshiva over here, I will tell you the exact dates when he was Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Moshe Chai Gagin. In of himself, he was a Rosh Yeshiva, I believe, for 3 years between the years 1881 to 1883. So he actually took over. I believe the Rosh Yeshiva before him was Rabbi Aaron Azriel between the years 1871 to 1881. Rabbi Chaim Avram Gagin, who we've spoken about before, he was a Rosh Yeshiva between the years 1827 to 1850. And the rabbi that would take the place of Rabbi Shalom Moshe Chai Gagin happened to be Harav Sasson Becher Moshe Farasido. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. He actually spent a staggering 20 years as the Rosh Yeshiva of the famous yeshiva himself, Haritziado. I think he was Rosh Yeshiva there and was one of the great rabbis of the author of the book, the Shemen Sasson also. So I hope this was thought provocative. We learned about the great rabbi here. We learned about the history of the famous Yeshivat Beit El. Friends, we've covered about 380 great rabbonim of yesteryear in this magnanimous, incredible series of it. Please share the videos to other people that might be interested. And please like the videos and join we're a community over here learning about the great rabbonim of yesteryear. So wishing you blessings and Shabbat Shalom, because it's just before Shabbat, Parshat, Ki Tetzeh, this Shabbat. So wishing you all a great day.